Hi, Sandy Rosenau-Clout, and I live in Clear Lake, and it's the home of the Surf Ballroom, so you all have to come and see us.
Art Banker, my wife Janelle. We live in Austin, Texas.
I'm Doug Zahn. This is my wife Andrea. We live in Tallahassee, Florida. And just so Andrea can be right about I can't do anything really short, I decline to answer George's question on the grounds that it may tend to incriminate people.
I'm Mark Mall. I only spent 2 years with you. I wish it would have been 4, and I live in the mountains behind Albuquerque.
Keith Nissen. I'm here with my wife Eileen Zimmerman. I know some of you other guys were sniffing around her, but I got her instead. We live in 50 Lakes, Minnesota. Don't ask me to explain where that is. It wouldn't do any good. We're enjoying life. It's really great to be here. Eileen dragged me here. I didn't want to come, but I'm enjoying it very much.
I'm Dick Steffen, and this is a part my wife dreads because she knows I love to be on a microphone. But Sylvia and I have, Sylvia Luloff was class ahead of us, you know, the last class of Waverly, and we're the first ones of Waverly Shell Rock. We've been married 47 years. And George mentioned about Mrs. Pate, the nurse. And I thought he was going to talk about me. Because I'll have to admit, nobody's talked about surgeries or anything. Well, I did have hemorrhoid surgery. And of course at our public school, they have these blanks that you have to fill out every so often to make sure you're alive to teach kids. And of course the forms you fill out are really dumb. Like one blank said heart. I checked that. Another said lungs. I checked that. Another one said rectum. I wrote rebuilt.
I'm Eileen Zimmerman, formerly married to Keith Nissen. And we live in 50 Lakes, Minnesota, which is a little spot in the road. But after retirement, we're really enjoying it. But thanks again to the committee for all the work, because this is just absolutely wonderful to see everybody. And big thank you to everybody who came, because this is just a marvelous time for us all to be back and to reminisce.
I'm Vassal Knoll, live in Waverly, lived around here all my life, so I'll let my wife introduce herself.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Donna Jane Josh and Knoll, and we live in Waverly.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see all you guys. Great.
Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Arnold Lampy. Arlen and I will be married 50 years in December. And I was probably the ones that let the air out of your tires while you were parked.
Elizabeth Christoffel Ergel and my husband Charles Brown. And we live in the Dallas area in the suburb of Plano. And I just want to mention this because Marilyn and Kathleen and Joyce and Mary Margaret will remember my Aunt Mildred. And Aunt Mildred was an old maid all her life, and we never discussed what she was going to do after she died, but she left money, and they have started the Christoffel Clinic at the Waverly Hospital. And it's really ironic because it was started with it's a rural health clinic with 2 family nurse practitioners and 2 physicians, and it's so ironic because I educated nurse practitioners all my life, and Mildred never told me what she was going to do with her money.
Joyce Detmer Harms, and I am still married to Dick, but he is on the state board for county conservation boards, and they're having their convention this week. I don't know why everything happens at once. There were 3 things I could have done tonight, so I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad all of you came too. Thanks.
Roger Epley, my wife Linda. We live in Neenah, Wisconsin, which is near Green Bay, so go Packers.
Tom Neal, my wife and I are both shell rockers. You'll remember her as Betty Adair.
She gets to talk.
In case any of you remembered wrong, that wasn't me in the back seat.
We've had a great life together. We were married in '65, I believe. We have 2 children. Jason is the oldest, and he's an attorney in Albuquerque. And our daughter, Amy, is in Denver, Colorado. She was recently married, and they both are in social work. Right now working with the housing industry in the big city of Denver. We get to see a lot of you again since we came back to Iowa. We had lived in Indiana for a while and then northwestern Iowa. So it's just been a couple years since we moved back here to this part of the state. And we're glad to be here, and we really think all the struggles we had with getting used to the new school system, that it's become a wonderful thing. We're really proud of Waverly Shell Rock.
I'm Barb Kewen Parrish. I live in Cedar Falls with my husband Wallace, and we would like to thank everyone for putting this together. Some of the committee members have done this for 50 years, so a big, big thank you.
I'm Rosemary Briner McKee. This is my husband John, and we live in Waverly.
I'm Julie Brown Durst, and I live in Denver, Colorado. And I'm happy to have with me tonight my sister Kathy from the class of '64 and her husband John from Cincinnati.
I'm Ruth Ann Meyer Miller, and I live in Allison, Iowa.
Dave Rowley, I live in Newton, Iowa, and I must confess I've held this in my system for 50 years now. In 1960, I had an affair with Isabel Eno.
Sure, I have to follow that up. I'm Jim Sherman. My wife Carolyn from Cincinnati, and of almost 45 years, couldn't be here. She's out of state. But I want to thank, it's wonderful to see so many old friends. We live in Cedar Rapids.
Mary Holman, and I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Jen Menzel is my wife, Charlotte Drusty Menzel from the class of '63, who lives outside of Ames.
I'm Berlin Hobble Savage, and this is my husband Terry. And I was manning the camera at the door, and I left my booklet laying on the table there, and it is gone. And my name is on the very front cover if anybody accidentally picked it up.
I'm Dick Artis, this is my wife again.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Graham Hine, and this is my husband Bruce, and we live in Plymouth, Minnesota.
Okay, Fred Hendrickson and my wife Sandy. We've been married for 47 years, and for what it's worth, I always refer to her as my lovely. So,
That's a good idea.
glad to be here. We had a heck of a lot of fun with the committee, and we're really glad to see so many people showed up. Thank you.
George Beebe, my wife Kathleen, Marilyn's sister. And I think based on what's just happened, I'm going to turn this over to Dave Rory. I can't top that joke.